So before going on to the generics, so already we have covered the part of the hardware description language, and generics is also the part of the hardware description language, right? Actually, in the second units, we know about of that is the whenever we have to represent the digital systems, okay, with the hardware description language. So we know the knowledge of uh, the logic, detailed knowledge of in terms of the logic or the Boolean expression about of that digital circuits, right? And the knowledge of hardware description language. So, uh, according to hardware description language, we have the two hardware description language tool is available. One is that the VHDL hardware VHDL, and second is the Verilog. Okay. So now in this session we'll understand about of the term is the generics, but also because in the today's last lecture, so already we have covered the part of the hardware as well as covered the part of the fundamental of digital, right? So just we will take one recap about of the hardware description language, right? So yes, the question is simple. So what is the VHDL? Yes, anyone will reply me through the chat box. What is the VHDL? Yes, full form is VHSIC hardware description language, right? So in short, that is the language can be used as an interface between the chip, right? So what is the VHDL? In simple, we can define this is the language. The language can be used as an interface between a chip vendors and the CAD tool users. Okay, CAD tool, it means that computer aided design. Okay, so actually different chip vendors can provide VHDL VHDL descriptions of their components to the system designer, and CAD users can use it to capture the behavior of the design. Okay, so uh, about of this language, that's the language support the hierarchy, that is the digital system can be represented as a set of interconnected components. It also supports the different description methodologies like as the data flow, behavioral, structural, mixed types of the modeling style. Okay, so also we can say about of this that is it is an IEEE and ANSI standards, right? So that's why whenever we have to start the writing a VHDL code, we are start with the IEEE library because it is an IEEE and ANSI standards, right? Uh, Also, it supports a wide range of the abstraction levels, ranging from the behavioral descriptions to very precise gate level description, right? Uh, the language also provides the elements like components, function, advanced constructs. We can say the advanced constructs, or the also we can say the elements like the functions, procedures, and packages which make the design easier. Okay. So these are the about of that language. Also, recently we have covered the one of the major feature of that language is the test bench, right? What is the test bench? Test bench uh, can be written using the same language, but test bench is used to verify the functionality of a design. After the every stage, we can verify the functionality of that stage through the test bench, right? And we know the procedure of the test bench, writing a test bench first always generate the stimuli, or also we can say the excitation, that is in terms of the waveform, right? With the same language you can write down the test bench. Okay, and then after the set of the stimuli, you can generate the output responses, and at the last stage you can match Okay, sorry for again interruption because of the, okay. So here is uh, what about of the VHDL language, right? So that is the one of the important feature, that is the test bench to verify the functionality of the design. Okay. Also we know about of the language, that is the propagation delays, minimum maximum delays, uh, setup and hold times, timing constraints. Okay, so can all be modeled very naturally in this language, right? And one of the major features, that is the generics. Generics and attributes are useful uh, in VHDL in describing the parameterized designs. Okay, so whenever we have to design the design, it is a parameterized design. So obviously we have to use the term is generics and attributes. Okay, so in the second unit, we have to cover this last point, that is the generic and attributes. This is the future of the VHDL language. Okay, so uh, you'll understand about of the generics. Generics. So first we'll understand what is by the generics. Generics, it is a useful to pass a certain types of information into a design description from its environment. Okay. So what is the generics? It is the whenever we have to pass the certain types of information into a design. Okay. So that times we have to use the term is generics. Okay. Generics of an entity are declared along with its codes in the entity declaration. Okay. So how we can declare the generics? Generics of an entity are declared along with its codes in the entity declaration. So with this example, we'll also understood. We'll also we will understand about of the how to declare the entity with the generic with the entity, right? Generic declares a constant object. Generic declares a constant object of mode. In value of this constant can be specified. Okay. It may be the specified in the entity declaration. It may be specified in the component declaration. It may be specified in the component instantiation, computation specification, computation declaration, right? So where is the component declaration and component instantiation? In the case of uh, okay, it may be declared in the entity declaration, component declaration, component instantiation. You know the part component declaration and component instantiation is the part of the structural modeling, right? So now here with the one example, we'll understand that is the how to declare the generics. Okay, so this is the example. Suppose now here the entity, the name of entity and one is okay, and here I declare the generic. Right? Generic of an entity are declared along with its code, in the entity declaration. This is the entity declaration, right? So here the entity name is the and one, and the generic here declared by the name of generic is X. Its type is integer. Specified that its value is the 4. Okay, and then declare the port. Okay, generic is declared with the port in the entity declaration. So that is the one of the example, right? So that the generic may be declared in entity, also may be declared in the component declaration, component instantiation. Also we can declare with the computation specification, computation declaration. A value for a generic must be specified at least once using any of the ones mentioned. Okay, so if the value is mentioned, so that with the okay, with the next example we'll understand. Okay, the example architecture. So here ABC is the name of the architecture and the name of the entity is the A. Okay. So here I declare the generic with the component declaration and component instantiation, right? So here with this example, also you will get that is here when this component will execute. Okay, so here just I have written only the architecture body and the component instantiation part, right? In the architecture body, first I declare the component declaration, right? With this component declaration, here I have declared the generic. Okay, the generic x integer. Okay, again here the for the second component also declare the generic. Okay, here we can change the generic, right? Suppose for this component here just I mention x, and with the entity already we have declared the value for the x integer is the 4, right? So obviously it will consider 4, x as a 4. But with the second component, if you have to change the value of the generic, so here generic generic uh, it is bracket. Suppose here the I will change the generic y. Okay, this is the integer y integer. Okay, and colon is equal to suppose 5. Y integer colon is equal to 5, right? And here the here we can declare the port of that component all that, and also here in the component instantiation, this is the part is the component instantiation, right? So in the instantiation, so again declare that generic, right? That is when the first component instantiation is executed. Okay, here the according the component instantiation statement will be the considered. Suppose the two component is there, so here also the two instantiation is required, right? So just here I mentioned the only one instantiation statement, that is the A1 is the label for that instantiation statement. And suppose the second component is the or component or1, so second instantiation is the O1, right? So when first component instantiation is executed, the value of the generic specified in the instantiation A1. Okay, so the y value is declared in the second component instantiation, that is the 5. For the first is x. Okay, and here suppose I written the generic map 5. So the value of the generic specified in the instantiation A1 comma 5 is assigned to the generic x. Okay, suppose here when first component instantiation is executed, the value of generic specified in the instantiation may what value we have specified in the instantiation statement, that is the A1 5 is assigned to the generic x. Okay, generic y. Okay, generic y value is declared in the component declaration as a 5. Okay, so the last instantiation statement assigns this value 5. Okay, to the generic y. In the second component, we have declared the value is specified the value is 5. But here just we have declared the x integer, right? But when this instantiation, this is the first instantiation statement that will be the execute. So the value of generic specified, that is the 5 in the instantiation A1, the value is 5 is assigned to the generic x, and generic y, the value is declared in the component declaration as a 5, right? So the last instantiation statement means second instantiation statement assign this value 5 to the generic y. Okay, so this is the generic, right? Okay, so next is the attributes. So what is the attributes? This is again the one of the important feature, the attributes. So out of the attributes, we will understand first what is the what meant by the attributes, then role of the attributes, okay, and the types of the attributes. So first, that is the attribute is a very simple. The attribute is a value, function. The attribute is a value, function, type. Also, it may be the, we can say, the signal or constants. Okay, so these are the associated with certain names within a VHDL description. Okay, so it's called as a attribute. What is the attribute? The attribute is a value. It may be the value, function, type, range, signal, constant. Okay, that can be associated with the certain names with a VHDL description. Okay, so this name could be entity name, architecture, label, or signal. Okay, uh, okay, large number of attributes are predefined in a language. So before we'll understand the role of attributes. What is the role of attributes? So attributes can be used to detect lock edges, perform timing checks in concert with the assert statements, right? Assert statements. So actually we have understood about of the sequential statements. So one of the sequential statement, that is the assert statement. Also, uh, uh, we'll about the sorry, we will understand about of the types of attributes. The types of attributes, that is the user defined attributes. Okay, so first type is, that is the, yes, user user defined attributes. Okay, user defined. Okay, so second second type is predefined attributes. Predefined attributes. Okay, so user defined attributes and predefined attributes. Okay, so this is the user defined and predefined attribute. These are the types of the attributes. So in the user defined attributes, these are constants of any type except across or file types. Okay, again, uh, with the examples, we have to understand about of the attributes, how to use the attributes. Okay. In the predefined attributes, the of, five classes of the predefined attributes, like as a uh, value attributes. This is the classes of the predefined attributes. That is the value attributes, function attributes, signal attributes, type, and range. These are the five classes of the predefined attributes. Value returns a constant value, right? So with the value attribute, it means that return a constant value. Function attributes, it means call a function that returns a value. Okay. Signal, signal attributes, it means it's create a new signal. It's create a new signal. Type is written a type name. Okay, and the range, it's specified the range. This written a range. Okay, so these are the topics. Uh, Last topic, that is the attribute and generics. Okay, okay. So now for this unit, we have required the practice. Okay, so practice point of view. I will give the one question. So all of you have to solve this question. Okay, so all of you write down this question and solve. Design a Mealy sequence detector to detect a sequence 1010 using a D flip-flop and logic. So all of you on your video and show me your notebook with this design. So all of you write down this, and for this unit practice is required. Okay. So these are the if you are able to design a Mealy sequence machine, okay, and now the here sequence detector, okay. If you are able to design a Mealy and Moore machine with any digital circuit, and also you should able to write a VHDL or the Verilog code for this model, maybe the Mealy or the Moore FSM. So that is the outcome of the second unit, right? So all of you have to write design a Mealy. Okay, so all of you first here solve the design a Mealy sequence detector to detect a sequence 1010 using D flip-flop and logic. Okay, so if you have the practice, obviously you have required the practices for the digital concepts as well for the VHDL Verilog. So in this unit, we have covered the basic fundamentals of that